One afternoon, while thanking him when he'd managed to retrieve her engagement ring after she'd dropped it down the kitchen drain, she enveloped him in a hug. Such an innocent gesture, but the touch of her soft, fluffy cardigan against Timothy's bare forearms and the scent of her perfume, Chanel No. 5, sparked the circuitry deep in his brain, creating an indelible connection that influences him to this day. Some men are turned on by rubber, some by thigh-high boots, and others by big breasts cradled in cheap lace lingerie. Timothy's fetish is Angora. "Thank you for noticing," I say, with the tone of sugary gratitude he likes. "But I'd really rather you didn't speak, Timothy darling. You have much more important things to be doing, like stripping for me." He doesn't argue. He's probably been dreaming of this moment since he left the shiny glass phallus of an office block where he works. All the way over on the tube from Canary Wharf, he'll have been hard in those neat suit trousers, using the flowers to disguise the solid bulge at his crotch. While I finish arranging the roses in the cut crystal vase, Timothy begins to undress. With my back to him, I can't see what he's doing, but the noises of his belt buckle clunking as it hits the carpeted floor and the rasp of his zip coming down tell me all I need to know. When I eventually turn round to face him, he's naked, except for his underwear. My lips curve in a mocking smile. I can't help wondering what his colleagues would say if they knew that beneath his corporate clothing he's been wearing tiny satin knickers that struggle to contain his erection. A damp spot mars the crimson fabric, damning evidence of his arousal. He's not the only client of mine who arrives in women's panties. The difference between him and the others is that they wear them on a daily basis. A lifestyle choice, if you like. Timothy put his on this morning because I ordered him to. His fear that one day he'll be discovered in them only adds to his arousal. And though I'd never admit it to him, it sends a flood of liquid heat to my pussy, too. "Very nice, Timothy." I fight the highly unprofessional urge to walk over and stroke his thick cock through his panties. He looks adorable, with his eyes downcast and his cheeks flushing red with embarrassment. "Now, I have a couple of chores for you. The grate in the fireplace needs blackleading. Then, once you've done that, I'd like you to take down the curtains. They've been needing a wash for a while. I've left an apron over the back of the chair for you." "Yes, Mrs. Worthington." He doesn't quibble, simply goes to put on the silly little apron. It barely covers anything, and is designed to maximize his humiliation. Naturally, he loves wearing it. Chapter 2. While he sets about bringing the iron grate in the fireplace to a shine, I go to make myself a cup of tea. I like to sit and sip it while I watch him work. For a while, I actually engaged the services of a sissy maid, Petula. She used to come in twice a week, clean the house from top to bottom, and then obediently bend over to have her bottom smacked with a rubber-soled slipper. She'd still be working for me now, if she hadn't smashed one of my favorite vases in an attempt to increase her punishment, the attention-seeking little pain slut. But in many ways, Timothy is a more than adequate replacement, happy to do whatever menial tasks his beloved Mrs. Worthington requires. Leaving Timothy to his own devices, I go to the kitchen. Even there, I don't slip out of role, tipping nice biscuits onto a doily-topped saucer. I prefer a chocolate hobnob, but according to Timothy, these were Mrs. Worthington's favorites. Sometimes I think I missed my true vocation. I'm sure I'd have made a great actress, but that's such an insecure profession, and working as a pro dom pays so much better. When I return to the drawing room, I take a moment to admire the sight of Timothy down on his knees, scrubbing away with the black lead. The taut satin panties stretch tight across his round, peachy backside, and the feminine frills of the apron contrast beautifully with his broad, masculine back and hairy legs. If only he knew that today I devised a brand new torment for him. By the time I've drunk most of my tea and munched a couple of the thin, bland biscuits, Timothy has finished polishing the grate. He rocks back on his haunches, clearly admiring his own handiwork. Even from across the room, I can tell he's done a good job.